This is a Royal Enfield Himalayan that we bought for less than £1,000, and over the next few weeks we're going to attempt to transform this low budget adventurer into a real legit motocross bike. Why, you ask? Well, firstly, why the hell not? But secondly, we do have a goal, a dream, a vision for this thing. How cool would it be to see this machine conquer the toughest dirt bike race in the nation? Welcome to Project Himalayan MX, where we're going to transform this thing into a true dirt bike in order to enter it in the Weston Beach Race. But the clock is ticking. As I stand here right now, Weston is only 9 weeks away. So we best get our butts in gear. So now you know our grand plan. You can see that we have quite the journey ahead of us before we can even think about reaching that lofty summit at Weston-super-Mare. I do have a bit of a road plan, a bit of game plan of how we might get there. Right now we're at the see what's wrong phase, but let's just back things up a little. Let me tell you where we found this machine.
At the start of the summer, I asked Phil and Sean to keep an eye out for some cheap adventure bikes for an idea I had for the channel.
Been shopping, Sean?
Yeah, we've been shopping.
You got something for Max?
Yeah, haven't we just?
Oh dear.
Right, so Max has sent me a challenge. Find an adventure bike for £1,000. I mean, come on, where am I going to get an adventure bike for £1,000? But here I am at Corby Copart, and guess what I've found? An adventure bike for £1,000. Come and have a look at this. It's a Royal Enfield. Look at that. Brilliant, isn't it? Eh? There are a few little things wrong with it. So yeah, that's snapped off. But that's we'll sort that out. It's not a problem. Be able to sort that out, straighten it up. And then round the other side, it's actually got a bent part of the bracket of the exhaust, so it hits the swing arm. But apart from that, it's all good. Should we start it up? Listen to that bad boy. Perfect. I can't ride it because I can't put it in gear, but it's a runner. Magic. Challenge accepted.
In this video, I'll let you know the full plan for the project, I'll tell you about the rules for the build and the goals for the bike, and of course we'll get to see this machine in action as well.
So this is our little Himmy, and this is our little Shawnee. He's our resident test rider and mechanic, although he doesn't like that word. He prefers like workshop technician or something, don't you?
Yeah.
So Sean is the one that's going to be working on this project in the workshop, and he's going to be the one riding it as well. So just tell us where you found the bike, because you're the one who actually found it and went to go and buy it with Phil. So tell us about that whole process.
So yeah, well, Phil said to me a while ago, he said, what do you think about a Himalayan Royal Enfield? Want to do something with one of them, what do you think? And we sort of found a few on eBay and whatnot, this and the other. And anyway, basically I was scrolling through Copart.
Yeah, just explain what Copart is.
So Copart is where all the insurance write-offs will go and get auctioned off. So, you know, you register for an account, and it's trade and public, so anybody can get an account, and you know, you can just have a mooch through and
see what damaged vehicles there are.
Yeah, see what there is, and
so it's
you know,
mainly
put
cars,
a bid.
right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but you get motorcycles on there as well, and I just happened to, like I say, always have a scroll through, see what's about, and lo and behold, there's a Royal Enfield Himalayan on there. So I'm like, you know, phoned Phil and said, there's one at Corby, it's going to be auctioned off in the next few days. Do you want to bid on it? You know, what would your maximum bid be? And we came up with a price, put a maximum bid on it, and lo and behold, we won it.
We ended up with it.
Yeah, so the original idea was to let's turn it into a motocross bike and do a motocross meeting, but then I came up with an awesome idea, was like, let's race it at Weston.
Yeah. So I'm not actually the one stitching him up this time.
No.
He's done it to himself. You are a brave man, Mr. Smith. I'm not sure you realise what you signed yourself up for, have you?
Well, I did it last year on the Evo bike, in the Evo class, which was only an hour and a half, but this is the full 3 hours. Yeah, it was easy. Yeah, it was easy. So this time it's the full 3 hours with all the big dunes in and all the rest of it. And yeah, why not? Let's go. I think it'll be good.
It'll be good content, whatever happens.
I don't know how long it's going to last. I don't know how long I'm going to last. Yeah, we've got a few sand dunes to climb, I think.
Yes, this is a written off bike, which means we got it for cheap, right?
Yeah, but it can be put back on the road.
Yes.
You know, there's no reason why it can't be put back on
You
the
can fix
road.
it.
Yeah.
So we actually did buy this for £850 plus the fees, which took it to £1,190 all in to get this back to us, which is about $1,500, $1,500, just a little bit more. So it's a lot of bike for the money. Let me just tell you a little bit more about Royal Enfield and about the Himalayan specifically, the one that we've got in front of us here.
Royal Enfield is a historic British motorcycle brand, the company having started in the 1890s with their first motorcycle coming in 1901. And they are actually the world's oldest motorcycle manufacturer to have been in continuous production. But for a long time now, Enfield has been owned by an Indian company, and all of the bikes are now manufactured over there as well. The Himalayan is Enfield's adventure touring machine. They've been in production since 2016, and it's definitely Enfield's most off-road focused bike. But that isn't saying too much these days. Our bike here is the older 411cc air-cooled version. The bike has 41mm front forks with 200mm of travel, and the rear suspension offers 180mm of travel, and the bike has an overall ground clearance of 220mm. Now, reviews of this bike weren't actually too bad at all considering its price bracket. They were on the cheaper end of the market. It's said to be very capable off-road, but some riders did complain of a lack of power out on the road. It's only packing 24 ponies after all. I've got some good friends in the motorcycle road testing business, and this is what one of those friends said about this bike. The old Himalayan 411 hit differently. In a world where motorcycles are becoming increasingly more sophisticated, not to mention more expensive, the Himmy was as old school as they came. A 24 bhp adventure bike powered by a simple 2-valve air-cooled single-cylinder motor with rudimentary cycle parts, it came with a brief to be able to tackle anything the rough roads of its native India could throw at it. Designed to be dropped, picked up and repairable without the need to be hooked up to a fancy dealership's diagnostic computer. It came with a very affordable price tag and gained a huge cult following. It's safe to say that this bike became pretty popular, and it's that reliable, no-nonsense nature that appealed to us for this project. Not to mention it came to us pretty cheap as well, and with only a couple of minor problems.
Obviously, you know, we've got this from Copart. It was a Category S, which is Category S is structural, so that's why it was written off. And I can only think because the bike looks pretty straight from the back, so the only reason I can think is because the exhaust is bent and it's pushed into the swing arm, and obviously this is part of the chassis, so it's classed as structural. So that's why it's been written off. We don't even know if it goes in gear yet or anything like that. The gear change was broke off, but I'm guessing the bike was running when whoever had it and fell off it, or someone crashed into them, I don't know. But so I'm quite confident in that part, but it is a lottery when you buy something from a salvage company that, you know, you won't find any other issues. But we'll see. So what we're going to do is get it straight and rideable, and then we're going to take it to the track. So let's get cracking.
essentially now we've got a rideable bike that we could get back on the road for just over £1,000.
Yeah.
Crazy. And it is rideable, and we think it can go on a motocross track.
Would you think it can go on a motocross track?
So the plan today then, let me explain the rest of the plan today. We've got the grand goal of going to Weston and completing that race, which is going to be difficult. And there's a lot of work to do in the workshop to get this bike into a race-ready shape. So you've got a long few days in the workshop ahead of you, I think. And we've only got 9 weeks to do it, so you've got a time crunch as well. But what I thought we need to do first is just see how far away from a real motocross bike this is and see how much work you really do have to do. So what we're going to do today, you're going to ride it.
Right.
You're going to work out its strengths and weaknesses, and that will help you decide, I think, what you want to tackle first.
Yeah.
But we're going to see how far away it is from a real motocross bike. So I'm going to hit the track as well on my YZ125. I'll lay down a lap time, and that will be the benchmark.
Yeah.
And then you'll go out on this once you're good and comfortable and try and get as close to that lap time as you possibly can.
Okay.
And then we'll see how far away it is from a real motocross bike.
Yeah.
And then when you've done all your changes, modifications, and once you've made it look like a dirt bike, we'll come back and we'll do the same test again to see how close you've got, if you have got any closer at all. Sound like a plan?
Sounds like a plan.
I'd rather you than me, but let's do it.
Sean, being the highly tuned test rider that he is, had to make a few slight setup tweaks before we could hit the track, but that gave us chance to install our Insta360 camera as well. And with that, we were set and ready to go riding.
Not gonna pull the skin off a rice pudding.
I think we were all a little apprehensive and nervous as Sean hit the track. None of us knew what to expect.
Oh my lord. Oh. God, it feels so heavy. I'm still in first gear. Oh no, I'm not.
It quickly became apparent that this project might be a bit harder than we first thought.
Oh, flipping Ada. I'm not so sure about this.
But Sean seemed to be getting the hang of things early on.
Well, that didn't last very long, did it? Oh, I'm gonna have to shed some weight off that. Don't want to be picking that up at Weston. Well, I've done 3 corners. I'm beginning to regret this. Why won't it start? What's it done? So it don't start in gear. But I've got to turn that ABS again now. No. Oh, look at the bars, are bent already. What was that?
So it wasn't even half a lap before Sean encountered some pretty big problems with the bike.
I think the old ABS is kicking in. Oh my god.
But let's see if he can get a lap under his belt and really learn some stuff about the Himalayan and find out what it's truly capable of.
This actually feels nothing like a motocross bike. Should I attempt these? Yep.
Fair play to Sean, he was not afraid to send it straight away.
Yep.
This is genuinely the first time this bike has ever seen a motocross track as far as we know.
It's so soft. Oh, Right, let's turn that ABS off because I can't stop. 1 second. How are we turning this off? Engine management lights on as well. I wonder why that is. I suppose it's got a compass. That's a good thing maybe. I ain't going to get lost. Maybe I can't turn it off now because the engine management light's on. Right, ABS is staying on. Oh, shit, yeah. What was that? Oh, I can't turn the ABS on. I reckon I could do that tabletop. My first victim. Oh, yeah. Oh, shyster. Oh, that's blown that, isn't it? Look what's happened there. Snap the foot peg off. Look at that.
So that's a pretty big problem that stopped the test in its tracks for the moment.
Snap the foot peg. That's not good, is it? Not good at all. And the engine management lights on.
Did you crash?
I mean, it's not much of an adventure bike, is it? If you can't, I don't think I'll turn the ABS off now. Start it up. See if we can turn this ABS off. Yes. ABS. Oh. Well, the ABS was off. Eh? Yeah. Well, it's pushed it down, innit?
Did you already turn this off?
No, didn't touch it. Crashed it though.
So whilst Sean sets about fixing that foot peg problem, I thought I'd make good use of the time and get ready to set my lap, the base lap on board the YZ125, which will be the time for Sean to try and be on board the Himalayan if he can get that foot peg sorted. Let's hit the track on the Yamaha.
So while Sean makes a couple of quick fixes on the Himmy, after his first ride, I'm going to lay down my lap here, my little YZ125. So we have a lap time for Sean to aim for today. This is the benchmark, if you will. And I've got to be honest, the conditions couldn't be much worse for the Himalayan today. Hard back and move grooved as it is, it's going to be very difficult to ride that big thing out here. So, I am definitely not envious of Sean today. And over the line.
So we are motocross guys, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't really even know what oils and lubricants and whatever we need for this Himalayan. Luckily for us though, our friends at Pewterline have a handy little tool on their website. Just go to the search bar, type in
your bike or your bike model, search that, brings up everything we need to know. Royal Enfield Himalayan. And it's going to tell us exactly what oils we need for the Royal Enfield Himalayan. There we go. Engine transmission oil, I wouldn't have known this. We need Boxer 4 15W50. That's what needs to go in the Enfield. So we'll order some of that ready for Weston. So as always, a big thank you goes to Pewterline Motorcycle Oils for supporting the channel and supporting projects like this. We wouldn't be able to do this crazy stuff without their help. So be sure to check them out next time you need to restock on essentials. As always, thanks to Pewterline. Let's go riding.
Right, let's try again. Freaking ABS is on.
So fingers crossed this session will be a lot more successful than the first.
The bed. Does that knock the chain off? Oh, what the that needs tightening. Not so sure it's a good idea, you know.
So once again, the session didn't start out too great for Sean. At least he's not hit the deck this time. So that's the second time in 4 corners that the chain has been thrown off.
It's going to be a very slow lap.
This is definitely something Sean is going to have to address before we go racing. But he should be able to get in a lap somewhere here. So let's try again. It's definitely a weird sight seeing that Himalayan ride around the motocross track, that's for sure. It'll be even weirder to see it at Weston.
Let's do the double! Yo, 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 yo.
Sean is definitely looking more comfortable on board the adventure bike now, so I think once we cross the finish line, this next time the clock will go on and Sean will try to set the fastest lap he possibly can on board the Himmy. Coming up towards the finish line here, the finish line tabletop, there he goes. And the clock is on.
One goes down here now. Whoa. Better miss that out because that's gnarly.
So far, so good for Sean on this lap then. And he really is starting to send it now. Pushing the limits to see what this bike is capable of before we make our changes. Only 24 horsepower, this thing definitely isn't a rocket ship out there. Look at that, double in through the little rim section there. You love to see it on board the Himmy. So on the gas around the back section of the track, only a couple more turns to manoeuvre now. This is going to be super interesting to see how this lap time compares to the motocross bike. He's pushing it.
She's on the limiter.
And over the line he goes. That is a solid lap recorded in the books. But it looks like Sean feels like he can get a bit more out of the bike. He's off to set another lap here.
No. See, as soon as you get in the loose stuff, she's on the deck. At least it's straightened the handlebars up. Ready? I reckon I could do that.
So that's the chain being thrown for a third time. With that, we'll head back to the workshop.
So we're back at the workshop now after our little adventure at the track, and Sean just about completed some laps on the Himmy back there. Sean, give us a review. What did it feel like to ride, and what are the immediate areas that you're thinking, yeah, we need to sort that out, we need to improve this?
Geez, where do I start? Well, it certainly weren't no adventure, put it that way. If I'm honest, it was horrendous. And yeah, I expected so much more out of it compared to what I got. I think within 3 corners I was on the deck and I was like, yeah, this probably ain't a good idea, because I tried to pick it up.
Yeah,
and
did reality
very much
hit quite quickly there?
Yeah.
Hard and fast, reality set
Very
in.
quickly. So the main thing is weight. The thing weighs a ton. I didn't realise how heavy it is. And it's only a 411cc, so, and I can't see where all the weight is, but when I say it's heavy, it's very, very heavy. So I've got to shed a ton of weight, you know, will be the first thing. And then the second thing, I need some help on this, seriously, because ABS delete, we've got to delete that ABS, because you can actually turn it off on, you know, on the Speedo, but we're not going to have any of that, so I need somehow to delete the ABS. Might just be able to unplug it and it has no effect on, you know, the bike whatsoever, I don't know. Suspension was, yeah, just shocking.
You did some jumps on it though.
I did, but then I also hit a big hole, and you didn't catch it on camera, but I hit a massive hole, it's probably on the 360, and it chucked the chain off
mate, I thought I was going down, and I think because the chain come off, it lost its drive. I think that's what saved me, because I thought, yeah, I don't know if this is a good idea. Do you know what I mean? But then Weston isn't, you know, it's not like that, is it? You know, it isn't. So, yeah, maybe we'll get away with it. But I need some performance parts, because it's got 24 brake horsepower, somewhere around about there, and yeah, that ain't good. And also gearing, you know, chain sprockets, stuff like that, because the gearing on it, I mean, you know, the donk track is a fast track, but I couldn't get out of second gear because the gears are that long. So definitely need to change that. Yeah, so
Foot pegs as well.
Foot pegs, yeah. There's going to be people out there that have got these, and you know, they've done mods to them, or especially performance engine wise, ECUs, you know, and whatnot, and maybe just modification on the air filter. That's all it needs. I don't know, but I definitely need some help, especially with the ABS delete, because that needs to come off. And most importantly, tyres as well, because yeah, them tyres are not going to work.
Well, they didn't work well today, did they, on that hard packed blue groove track?
Nothing worked well. I think the only thing that worked well on that was a hooter, and then it chucked the chain off, didn't it?
I have the results here. Right. We know my lap time, my base lap time on my YZ125 around the donk track, which is one of our test facilities that we use, was a 1:54 today. But that's the base time. Your time on the Himmy today, 2:16. Really? 22 seconds off.
Yeah. Today I felt like the clouds were moving faster than I was.
Isn't too bad. 22 seconds is not too bad. Yeah. But obviously we want that to come a lot closer.
I think it's achievable.
So this is what I'm going to get to next. Let's talk about some goals then. What are our goals for the project? Obviously, the first goal is to improve that time and get it a lot closer to me once you've made the modifications. So we'll run that test again once you've done those mods. My question to you is, what's our goal? How much closer do we want to try and get? What do you think is actually achievable? How much better do you think you can make it? So you're 22 seconds away now. Yeah. How much closer do you think you can get?
I reckon I could do it. I reckon I could do the 22 seconds.
Yeah. That's a bold claim.
Yeah, I reckon I could do the 22 seconds.
You reckon you could make that bike 22 seconds a lap faster?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see about that.
Do you not think that's achievable then?
I don't think there's any way on this earth that you'll be able to post a faster lap time on that than I can on a motocross bike. And I'll make a bet now.
Well,
No, this is for me. If you do, I'm quitting. If you're faster on that than I am on a real bike, I retire.
It'll all depend on the suspension. If I can get some suspension sorted, I think I'll be nearly there.
So let's put a number on it. Do you think let's get you within 10 seconds of my lap time? Yeah. And we're confident ready for Weston? Yeah. So that's goal number one. Goal number two is obviously to get it entered, get you competing in, and to get you to complete the Weston Beach Race. That's our second goal.
I think a lap's get a prize for that.
Yeah, I mean, this is an ambitious goal. Even completing a single lap would be an achievement. Let's set some rules for the build so this doesn't get too, outrageous. So my first rule for you for the build is, obviously we're saying we're transforming the Himalayan into a motocross bike. So I think rule number one is, at the end, when you finish the build, it has to somewhat look like a motocross bike. Let's forget performance. Yeah. It'll perform like it performs, but let's get it looking somewhat like a motocross bike, right? Yeah. Graphics, number boards,
oh no, that's a lot.
So let's get it looking like a motocross bike, rule number one. Okay. Rule number two, and this is Phil's favourite rule, we must not exceed the build budget.
Cost.
We have set ourselves a strict budget for this build because Weston Beach Race is a bit of a bike killer, and I really can't afford to literally throw thousands of pounds away straight into Weston Bay. So we've given ourselves a strict budget for this. We've got a strict parts budget. So I'm going to be digging through our parts bin at home. We've got a few things laying around after all the projects we've done recently, so we'll dig into those bins and see what we can recycle for this. because we've got this strict parts budget, if there's any brands out there that want to get involved in this project, want to get involved in the build, drop me a message, get in touch. Would love to have you on board, because I'm sure you would appreciate some high-end performance parts on this build that I cannot afford. There's definitely some things on here that I'm sure you appreciate. Performance pipe.
Yeah, any performance, any performance products. Do you know what I mean? And if anybody's got a magic wand as well, that would be handy.
Also, if any of you guys watching that have decent beach race experience, I've never done the beach race myself. I've been to Weston for the past 10 years doing media stuff there. You've done it once or twice? I know from my experience doing media at Weston, you need experience to succeed at Weston, which we don't have on the racetrack. So if there's any beach races out there that have any tips or tricks that you want to let us know in the comments down below, how we can specifically get the bike beach race ready, let us know. The third rule, and probably the most important rule, is the build must be completed before the deadline. Obviously, we've got a strict deadline for this build. It's 9 weeks from now. This will all be for nothing if the bike's not ready to line up in the 1,000-man, 3-hour-long solo main event on Sunday, the 5th of October, for the Weston Beach Race at Weston Supermare. So the clock's ticking. So moving forward then, Sean, what's the next step? What's the next stage? What are you going to do first?
Just start stripping it. Yeah, start stripping it, and then looking at what I can do with it to transform it into so it looks like a motocross bike. Do you know what I mean? You know, yeah, got a few ideas, but again, you're sort of limited because it's got a fuel pump, it's fuel injected, it's got a spine frame. So if I'm looking at changing the tank, I'm very limited on what I can choose to change the tank, which I think I need to do to make it look like a motocross bike. I don't think I will be able to make that look like a motocross bike, and I don't want it to look like a cut and shut. You know, I want it to, it wants to look good.
There's a lot of work to do. The workshop stuff will start in the next episode. We'll tear it down. We'll start building in episode 2 of this series. This is the Himalayan MX project. We've got a mountain to climb, and I don't think we've even made it to base camp yet. So let's get to work.
Yeah, let's do it.